happening, people? Welcome back to another show. And today we're speaking on Jackson, Noni, valuation for Noni being a bit iffy. Do you get me? Are Arsenal actually serious for once? Are they serious? Are they getting the players they need to get over the line? Gyökeres, etc. All available, all ready to join the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So will they get Eze over the line? They got Gyökeres over the line, of course. So let's see how that develops and let's see how it turns out for them. But yeah, make sure we got to update the ticker again because it looks like subs are increasing quite a bit, you know? And we will be turning on sub mode only, especially when we get like a decent amount of people in here because you guys are enjoying the content. We're not too far away from 1.8K. Shout out JJ, who's obviously saying we're close to the road to 2,000 is on. So, you know what I'm saying? It's very, very good to see that. I'm going to sort my lighting out. Can I just change where I am? We're going to wait for some guests to appear. We've got Dev. We've got Rob, as always. You know what I'm saying? We've got Zia potentially joining. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you are hitting that sub button and smashing that like. We just need to sell now. 100% we do. Do not get it twisted. We definitely do need to sell now because things are getting a bit tight. Do you know what I mean? For example, Kudus might say no on the pure basis that we're just taking our time with these sales, which is not it, by the way. I don't like that. Were you saying, Callis? Wagwan Cesalini? My boy calls me that, you know, Cesalini. Like, he actually calls me Cesalini. It's kind of mad. Bill Iron Tech, new in the building. Bill L_Vlad. Premier League good next season, only City Noble strengthening. I think Chelsea strengthened instead of Arsenal. I would say, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but I'll say we've all strengthened. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I would say we've all strengthened. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no one's strengthened. I think we have, you know. I'm not going to lie to you. But it all depends to what extent. Guys, who's seen the Rasmus news as well? That's too funny. Have you not seen the Rasmus news? I can't lie to you, that made me laugh. I feel like that made me laugh a lot, you know. I'm going to be honest with you, we're not getting Kudus. Listen, why is he not in the title? Because I don't think we're getting him either. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, guys. You put this light on because it's too dark in here, bro. It's too dark in here, bro. Do you get it? Do you get it? But smash that like button for me. Smash that like button for me. See? Yeah, man. Guys, smash that like button for me. Smash that bloody like. Jackson's here to stay. What's happening here? What do you mean? I'm still here, G. It's not looking good, bruv, Jason. What are you referring to? What are you referring to, bro? What are you referring to? Listen, I think you're referring to Kudus. Listen, guys, should I just start there? Should I just start there in terms of Kudus? Because for me, like, you know what? Like, here's the thing. Like, guys, let's just be 1,000,000,000% honest in it. Let's be one. Like, do I really think we need the guy? Like, here's the thing. If I could take him, I obviously would take him because he's a game changer. But then you got to ask yourself, I think everyone in the chat to let me know this now. DRD raid. DRD. Oh, Durag Diaries. Oh, George. We got George. George is funny. I was thinking, who the hell is DRD? I'm so slow. I was like, what the hell? Big up George to the raid, though. We just started our stream, so it's good to see that. Guys, smash the like button for me, mods. Can we get these likes up as well, please? I beg. Let's get these likes up, please, because it kind of stinks of doo-doo. I'm not gonna lie to you. It stinks of, you know, it stinks of bin juice. I took out the bin the other day, and that's what it stunk of. Just doo-doo. Just butters. Man stalling. Like the stream. Be out J Spurs. Yeah, 100%. Smash the like, Sheeval. Be out George, you know. But the thing is, with Kudus news, I can't even talk too much on it because nothing much is happening. Rejection for Chelsea. Nah, you hope. You really hope. You know what I'm saying? Why haven't you modded Godfrey? Oh my gosh, Godfrey. Oh my days. Godfrey, I'm gonna make you a managing mod. JJ, love for doing your job, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Because Godfrey deserves a mod. He's been catting for it in a respectful way. Let me just mute that now. Hey, Godfrey, where are you? Big up chairs. Noni dressed like a nanny. Gone. Yo, why is Stephen Michaels always doing this? He's always showing digs to Noni, man. Let Noni land, Stephen, man. Let him live. Right. Godfrey's a managing mod. Godfrey, refresh your page, buddy. Be at the man in the building. Rob's in his car as well. It's too funny. Rob, man, I wanted you to get home. What's going on, man? I wanted
What
you
you
to get
saying?
home. Oh, you got good Wi-Fi as well. What are you saying?
I got good. Wi-Fi is good.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is really good. You're good, you're
Cool,
good.
cool.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, man. We barely even started, but we're just saying, first things first, I think the Kudus news is off. It's not in the title, but you can talk on it. I know you said on your Twitter, people not all follow you, but you thought it was off in the beginning. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I told y'all we weren't that interested in Kudus. Just because it didn't make 1+1 wasn't adding up to 2. I know people wanted him big time because if Noni is sold, bring on Kudus, but it didn't make sense because if you bring Kudus now, you have to sell next summer. You're gonna have to get rid of one of Neto or Kudus, and there was no way that if you get Kudus this summer for 55-60 million, that you
Yeah.
can guarantee that you're gonna flip him next summer for 80 million to even recoup the money. So it's a waste of money, energy, and for a player that you don't even know if you absolutely need. And so I think our name were being used by West Ham and Kudus to get Spurs to up their bid and to get higher wages at Spurs.
So
That,
you
that's
think? So do you think this is actually a fair opinion? Do you actually think that West Ham are telling people like Simon Phillips and whatnot, Chelsea's going to go back in just to get the price up a bit,
Oh
basically?
yeah,
They're bidding
because
more.
they already turned down the first bid of 50 million, right? Austin said
Yeah,
that.
they
I
did. Yeah,
think
they did. Yeah,
Romano said that as well. And
yeah.
so, by invoking Chelsea's name into the matter, you know what Chelsea is, and Spurs are gonna get scared of Chelsea. If Chelsea gets into the Kudus business, Spurs better act right. Otherwise, if Chelsea really wanted Kudus, yeah, Spurs got no chance. The fact that Spurs actually even put in a bid will tell you that we weren't that into him, because if we
Mm.
were interested in him, there's no way Kudus
They
would have
would
been like,
brief. They would brief
yeah,
to the media.
yeah,
Yeah, we put in a bid.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
thanks, man.
the people that are around West Ham and all, people getting the news that, oh, Chelsea are massively and significantly interested in Kudus. I always thought that was not the case, because if we really were interested in Kudus, Spurs wouldn't be even sniffing around. They would be like, hey, just interested in him. We got no chance. Let's turn our focus on, I don't know, Noni or somebody else. They would have never put in a bid.
That's true. But to be fair, it's not over to the fat lady sings. So maybe.
Yeah, the fat lady that only sung twice.
Oh, you
Just let
think
it
that's
go.
really sung? Man said she sung twice. That's too funny. That's too funny. You know what it is? You know what? Yeah, I think VD's joining. One sec. I feel like Rob. I do agree with you though, in terms of maybe the club don't see him as a good fit, but at the same time, we've been linked with him for like 2-3 years, so it's
No,
not gone
no, no.
away.
We were linked to him 3 years ago. We agreed personal terms with him. This is how kind of loosely we read Kudus. We agreed personal terms with him, but we were lowballing Ajax so much that, and then we were taking, his agent even came out and said Chelsea was just taking the piss with the offers. They knew the Ajax were never gonna accept. Like, we're bidding like 30 million euros or something. Like, there
So
was.
what? Do we not rate him as a top player then, or is it because we've already got?
I think we've always been, he's one of those options we always had on the table, but he's never been like top, like we had Palmer, for instance, that summer. Like, if everything had gone wrong, then maybe Kudus would have came in. Like, we agreed personal terms with him, just in case we actually needed, or last resort, we needed to go to Kudus. But I don't think Kudus was ever like that top talent like Joao Pedro was this summer. Like, actually, he's not even as high on our books as Garnacho is. As much as you hate this, hearing that name.
Yeah, but you keep
Hold on a
bringing him
minute.
up.
Is that
So
Robert?
Yes,
VD,
the
what's up, man?
legendary Robert.
Robert!
That's what I'm saying,
This is the
VD.
first time I'm like seeing
Yes.
you seeing your face like face to
I'm
face.
Robert.
man,
I'm
same,
Remember, we
same.
was
Robert, I'm trying
on
to make
Alex's
you bigger
stream,
than
innit?
everybody. Rob's my guy. I'm trying to get into his YouTube space. He does Twitter at the
Come on,
moment.
big up Robert, man. Hey,
Yeah.
Robert, when you joined that stream and you were talking about the lap and you were saying I'm taking the lap over others, you became my guy. You became my guy from that moment on. You became my guy from that day.
Big up to you, VD. Big up to
Yeah,
I got a message for you. You better tell Cass to start laying off for you, man. I don't like the way Cass be talking to
Hey,
you.
VD, he moves to you
Dude,
sometimes. I've got to
He's
talk to
my
people
cousin,
privately.
innit? So
I
he's my
know he's
cousin.
your
So it's like
cousin.
a bit of banter.
Is he your big cousin or your little cousin?
He's my big cousin. He's older than me. Yeah.
Man, but tell him to stop bullying you on every show, man.
Nah, I don't mind it when it's him, innit? Do you know what? It's the people in the chat. It's specifically Reaper in the chat, bro. When I see that guy's comment and he starts saying, he was talking about us, Chaz. He was like, Ches and VD2 my step for Chelsea is like the darkest thing ever. I was like, bro, we're the ones on here, bro. Come on the stream, like, you know what I mean? Trying to play man,
like,
like,
something to say. Come on the stream. But
yeah,
they don't want
come
to
on
do
the
it.
stream, bro.
It
takes a lot to have to do Twitter and YouTube. It's difficult. We think it's easy. You got to
Yeah,
put
it is
opinions out
difficult,
there.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
You're putting your neck on the line, innit, non-stop. So it's
100%, man. Big up Dev, by the way. Like your trim, bro. You got a new trim, innit? I see that.
Nah, not a new trim at
You got a
all.
new trim, no?
No, not at all.
Hey, man didn't that. Nah, it's always nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mad thing. Say nice. But yeah, man, like, you two look alike. Now, there's a lot to take from this comment. I don't know who the you two is, but
he might be on about me and Kaz.
Oh yeah,
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I see it though. Like, I can see the similarities.
I mean,
I get it a lot. He looks like he looked like my brother a lot back when they were younger. They looked like twins. It was crazy. So but
Next is mad thing. If not Kudus and Rodrigo. To be fair, it has come out that Chelsea see him as one of the few anomalies that break the wage structure for, basically meaning they'll go all out for him who's available. But
I think
we haven't. Here's the thing, Dev. This is for you to take your teeth into. Pause. Yeah. On this whole thing, because I put in the title, Chelsea need to be careful. Transfer dopamine, is it real? Basically, I put that in the title, yeah, because I was thinking this window we're going for profiles over names. But do you ever feel like Chelsea this window could go for a name like Rodrigo? Because we do kind of need a left winger still.
We could go for anyone in it, but it's just it's the same way. Like, I don't know, because if we went for someone like Leao, I'm not too sold in it because I don't think he offers balance to this team whatsoever. I will always maintain. I keep saying on every single stream, on most of my posts on Twitter and stuff, I would be a hypocrite if I talked about wanting balance and profiles over the names and then say I want Leao, because Leao doesn't offer us balance. Now, it could work, but you'd also have to sacrifice someone like Enzo and it wouldn't work. So when we was linked with Gittins, I was completely fine with it because he's someone that will work hard in the defensive actions. And if you talk about our system and, you know, how we play, he suits Maresca's football to a T. So I only look at these names, in my opinion, if they proper suit the system. Now, for me, Rodrigo isn't a touchline winger in it. Like, it's cool. You could rotate the side, so you could have like Rodrigo cut inside and Cucurella overlap. If that's the plan, then it will work. Like, Rodrigo does press as well. So if that was the case, then sure, go for it. But I wouldn't be obsessed with these things. It's the same reason I kind of got cold feet about Gyökeres. Same reason I kind of preferred the lap to Osimhen, because I think the lap suits our system more and it's just going to offer us more balance. We could go for the names, but it has to make sense. Like, that's the only thing I say. It has to make sense. You can't nah, I can't do these big names. And then they get this ego, and then our team crumbles because of it. Because Nkunku, Felix, these were both names. These are both
100%.
names that didn't really suit our system. Even Sancho, to an extent, didn't really suit what we were trying to do because he was a touchline winger. Like, I don't know. Like
That's the
look
thing,
at João
BD, that's
Pedro.
the thing,
João
BD.
Pedro was perfect. He had a bit of a name. His profile was perfect. 10, striker, left wing, can drop down into the midfield. He was perfect, and he had a bit of a name. It makes sense to sign him over
and obviously
over
we see
who,
it
like
play out,
Simmons
but
or.
what I don't like is this fan base flip flops a lot, you know, because the same people going on Dopamine are the same people who loved Felix coming back. And by the way, like, it doesn't make sense because Felix was never a signing that everyone was gassed about because he was going to come in world class ability. It's because we liked the player in his flipping 6 months stint. That was it.
He was like the one shining light in a terrible season.
Yeah.
And whenever he got the ball, he made something happen.
2 red cards and like 1 or 2 goals. So the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like because other teams like Arsenal, City, and Liverpool are signing household names, and because they finished ahead of us, I think a lot of Chelsea fans don't like the idea that we're behind them and we're not following suit. I think a lot of them don't see the signings as needle movers, is the word I'm hearing a lot. Oh,
it's
João Pedro's not a needle mover. Well, is Shirky even better than João Pedro?
No. I told you this, Chess. I said people are looking. Chelsea fans don't look at the transfers according to how much our team grow. They look at our transfer business through the lens of rivals. Like, you know, if Liverpool goes and buy Verts for 150 million euros, they want us to do the same, even if that player does not suit the system, but it's name v name. Like, you know, Liverpool gets a name, we get 2 names. City get a name, we get another name. And that is how you judge. That is how our fans want us to move into the transfer window. Like, they get Verts, they want us to go and slap 100 million pounds, 100 million euros on Rodrigo. Then, oh, you know what? It is 1-1. They go and splash, I don't know, 75 M's on Marmouche. You know, they want us to go and splash, like, you know, give Osimhen 250, 300K a week. That is what our fans look for, rather than, you know what, Joao Pedro is here, bro. Like, this dude is gonna unlock so much for our squad that I don't even think I don't even think Verts, if we got him, could have unlocked that many options for us as Joao Pedro will. Because he can play the wing, he can play the first 9, he can play the inside 10, he can play the actual number 10 position. Like, there's no way you could check Vert on the left wing and expect a good performance. There's no way you can check Vert on the first 9 and expect a good performance. But Joao Pedro will and he's creative, he's physical, he can press, he works hard off the ball, he's technically really, really sound. Like, I've already made a declaration. I've already made a declaration. Joao Pedro for Chelsea will be a better signing than Verts for Liverpool.
You know, I hear it. You know, I actually hear it, because in terms of how the player suit systems, João Pedro suits our system way more than Wirtz suits Liverpool's system. Wirtz is a fantastic player, fantastic. He's a better player than João Pedro. But at the end of the day, you could be the best player, but if your team ain't, you know, you have to have a role in your team. You have to be that spark. I can see João Pedro being that spark, especially if he has the lap in front of him. Because I don't know if you saw, but last game, every touch João Pedro had, it was turning to gold. But the only thing, they called him Midas. He was like Midas, innit? Everything he touched just turned into gold. The only slight thing that I had with João Pedro is he wasn't in the box enough. Like, he was doing everything else, but he weren't really in the box. So yeah, but having the lap already there, if you let João Pedro creep at that back post, cinema.
I know, but that was by design, though, VD, because the Palmeiras manager changed the system and overloaded the midfield. So João Pedro got brought on instead of Jackson because he's a better false 9, and he was asked to drop more into the midfield so that we don't get overloaded in the midfield. That's how we're getting control of the game again. But obviously, when you do that, you miss that presence, that full presence in the box, because he's played more. He's filled up more in midfield than he is as a striker, as an in-box striker, and that is by design. That's how we regain composure of the game, because we were no longer overloaded midfield. Once Joao Pedro came on, we regained control of the game, because he was dropping down, he was dropping deep a lot more, and actually we were matching, because Enzo at the beginning of the second half, Enzo and Andre were getting overmatched in midfield, outnumbered in midfield everywhere. And so he brought in Joao Pedro instead of Jackson, because Joao Pedro is better. He can drop in deep and play more as the advanced midfielder, and even the number 10 more than Jackson could do.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, Eamon, this is a while back, like 3 or 4 months ago, said profile system players, touchline winger, tall striker, good in the air. Killing soldiers already with their terminologies to hype up mediocre players like Kitson Zalap. Here's the thing, like, it's too polarized. It's either you're a big name player like Rodrigo and you're gonna bang, or you're Gittins, you're unknown, you're gonna flop. That's not how I keep saying this line, and people need to understand it. Football doesn't work on paper. It doesn't work the way we could sit here right now and go, let's get Rodrigo for left wing, Oshman up front. It's gonna work perfectly. But it won't work that way.
Ches,
Even with Arsenal.
do you know the thing, Ches? It happened last season. On paper, we had the best team in the league.
Oh, yeah,
on paper, we had the best
you
team
got
in the league.
Felix, Nkunku, Mudryk. Wow.
And then it just didn't work. You put them in the system, it didn't work.
From December onwards.
Literally, Felix got shipped out. Nkunku didn't work at all. But these names, they were all big names. Like, Nkunku was a huge name. And the thing is with Chelsea's history, when has these big name signings actually worked for Chelsea? Like, when have we signed a top established name and it worked? Because it's not happened often. You look at some of our hidden gems, Gary Cahill, Azpilicueta, even names like Malouda and Drogba, like, these weren't big names.
The only player I would say was a big name who joined and bang was probably like someone like Kante. Like, he
Kante
was,
but
even then, he was like
a big name even. He was just one.
No, but when he had that season, he was performing.
Yeah. But he wasn't
I'd say honestly, someone just said it in the chat. Hazard had dumb amount of hype. Like, he had crazy.
Yeah, but we're saying like world class already. He wasn't world class yet.
Yeah, see, like maybe
Crespo
kind of. Fabregas is good. Fabregas was.
You don't think Fabregas was cold? You don't think Kante was a big name?
Like, no, he had a brilliant season.
He was a name in the Prem. He wasn't world class yet. He was even playing for France yet at that time. I don't think he was even a French international yet. Was he?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
It was
the season. It was that season at Leicester that put him on the map. We signed him straight away.
That's the season where he got Mahrez wasn't a big name either yet. Like
Eze. You see Eze's name, you think, well, that's a good player. It's a good player. Even Elise, everybody knew Elise's quality. But now he's gone to Bayern and he's shelling out at Bayern. You think that's a superstar. That's a superstar right there. It's the same thing. You don't really get your name until you move to your big club. Because I think when we signed Kante and then he had another good season, everyone was like, this guy's the best on the planet. That's when that narrative then shifted towards Kante. That's when he got seen as one of the absolute best. But it didn't happen. It wasn't really there at Leicester because everybody kind of thought it was a fluke.
Also, Ziad, are you there or are you driving home? So I can get you.
No, I'm driving, but I'm listening. I'm not gonna lie. These big names thing, there's a lot of context behind it, man. The Lukaku one, I think he's just a donut, bro. I blame him on
that weren't our fault.
Yeah, that's not our fault. And then Nkunku, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I blame a bit of a Maresca on that, man. I think that guy killed him. If I'm being honest, man. I think last season, even under Pochettino, he's coming off the bench with all these injuries, but still having an impact. Everyone's gassed about Nkunku. Like, let's be real, he's not a shit player, man. I just think Maresca, the way he's spoken about him, and then in comparison to how he's used him, I think he's killed him mentally. I don't think it's an excuse for him to act like an idiot on the pitch and show himself like not trying and that. But I still believe Maresca killed this guy's career at Chelsea.
You know why you're right, Zed? Because in this tournament we've seen Nkunku perform way better than we've had this whole time at Chelsea.
He's not, bro. Come on, man. Last season we were all gassed about him and everything. All of a sudden the guy's dead. Get him out of my club. Like, I get it. Like, oh my God, now Felix and Nkunku. If you're a Chelsea fan and you don't hate them, you're numpty in the head. You're sick. No, bro. Why would I hate Nkunku? I don't see the guy doing anything wrong. The manager comes in the press conference saying
the only thing about him is Nkunku didn't work hard enough. That's the only thing that I have with him, which is probably why it wasn't working as well. But you're right. You're also right because I think maybe it was in preseason or it was early during the season, Maresca kept saying, Nkunku's a 10. Nkunku's a 10. I feel sorry for Nkunku. He's a 10. They never played him there. So it does take two to tango.
You see the Nkunku thing, yeah? I think Nkunku, I think people that blaming Maresca, I think it's a bit, because if Nkunku was willing to do, to do the work, the hard work, and there was no way we would have gone in for Joao Pedro if Nkunku was up for it, because Nkunku could easily play that role, the inside 10, the inside forward. But it requires you to work hard. It requires you to make runs. It requires you to have good link-up play. There's no way. Like, we played Neto as a striker last season because we don't trust Nkunku's work rate. Like, how we playing Tyreek George and
but he's
Neto
not a striker. He's not a striker, though.
No, but neither is Neto, neither is Tyreek George. But they're willing to do the work that Nkunku's not willing to do.
Very good point. I think that's a very good point.
Like I said, if Pedro Neto is willing to do the work of a striker, and Nkunku is more of a striker than Pedro Neto is, if Tyreek George is willing to do the work of a striker, and he's an academy player who's never played striker before, why would man sit here and be like, oh no, I feel sorry for Nkunku, who's more of a striker than any of them two can be?
Yeah, but Nkunku was gone long before that, man.
Yeah, but
long before
the
George
that's
and
no
that,
problem.
bro.
He should have worked harder.
It's a bit of both.
That is also true. Robert's got a point.
It's a bit of both, but I lean towards the manager more, man.
No, Zed and Rob, like, you both make very valid points. Like, you could argue two
people can be right in it.
I think he himself down tools, and we don't need to be wrong. We've all, whether it be on TV or watched it live, we've all seen him play. Sometimes he performs good and runs around a lot. Sometimes he's a bit lazy. Even the Southampton game I watched live in the flesh, 2 rows behind the pitch. He's a bit gingerly, a bit. I'm saying, I don't know if it's anything to do with his skill, because on the ball, he's one of our best players, technically. But
he's good in tight spaces, isn't it?
Yeah, tight space. He's good. He's good, like, in terms of
one of the best finishers too.
In terms of his mentality and attributes, in terms of running, which is like 90% of the Premier League nowadays, he doesn't have that. Most players in the Premier League, by the way, run. Like, if you don't do that,
do you know what it is? Running's got such a bad thing because now we call them road runners. They're road runners, not people that work hard. They're now road runners. It's that whole personality now. When the reality is you need people to work hard. You're a team, bro. If you have one person slacking, that's a big thing. There's another 10 men that are willing to run. Like, that's why you see you get overloaded by some of these teams like Brentford and stuff, because they'll chase you down. You have one person slacking, you're finished.
Before we get Dev involved and talk about Jackson, Zia, they're saying you don't like Maresca. Is that why you were saying the line about it's Maresca?
Man, this cat about I don't like Maresca. I just got my question marks about him. I'm not fully sold. I don't think that's a howler, but I'm not fully sold on the guy. So I don't like him or hate him. I want him out. Sorry, I wanted
like Robert and Devon stuff, yeah. Briefly
sorry, I wanted Inzaghi last year, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, no, I know. We speak, so I understand. But and then you do streams every week, but not everyone sees them, right? For the channel and the panelists, what makes you question him, and what would you need in the near future, obviously, to change your mind?
Bro, I just last season wasn't that good, man. I don't think people are guessing on this top 4, but the simple fact is we got it on the last day, and the teams that we competed with, they're not that good, man. We shouldn't be scraping top 4. We shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. And for next season, if you get it more comfortably, you win the cups as well. Because you didn't even win the cups, man. Come on, man. It's not that hard to win the cups. If Palace can win it, we should be able to win it. So next season, you get top 4 properly. I would say properly, like more comfortable. You win cups, see what you do in the Champions League, then cool, no problem. But this Maresca thing, the only reason I went mad on him is because I saw Inzaghi was available as well. So I wanted Inzaghi, Well, at least,
to be fair,
I knew he was even in.
He bottled the quad. He bottled the quadruple. Or was it the treble? It was one of the two. He got to the Champions League final week after, bottled Serie A, bottled the Champions League final, and I think they got knocked out of the Scudetto. So it was a poor few months for him. The only thing that I don't like about Maresca is he can be a bit of a coward with his selections. He doesn't like to take a risk. Like Achi and Pong should be getting minutes over Gusto. Let's be real here.
Hey, Vidi, let me give you some devil's advocate. Let me get Dev involved. Would you not argue though that this team he inherited, he had barely an input in terms of the signing? So
yeah, that's also why I'm not mad about.
Yeah, so my thing is this: we put it for Dev to respond as well, yeah, because Ziad makes a good point in his point of view, but Dev, let me say this. He didn't get half the amount of backings that in hindsight we think he should have gotten. We didn't get no striker. We were left with Sanchez still. The centre-back pairings, I know they've proven themselves under this system, which he's helped, by the way. So Zed and that has to give credit for that. But the players individually, we don't rate them. Like Tosin, Chandler, we don't rate as world class. So for him to still come in and steady the ship and do what he's done, and now we're going to back him with players he actually wants, is Zed in that a bit harsh? Like, we calling
Bro,
him
it's
out.
still a good enough squad. Come on, man. Let's not do this, man. Let's not do this, Ches, man. The squad ain't top. Like, it's better than top 4, man. Or it's not.
There was no
It's,
balance
like,
in that
in
squad,
terms of
bro.
it's better than not scraping top 4, man. It's better
No,
than
by
that,
the way,
man.
I agree with that part. I don't think we should have scraped it. But we still made it.
Bro, the most
Well,
informed striker in the league, bloody had a howler. That Wood brother had a howler that game. And he's the most informed. We basically got lucky, bro. Let's just see how it is. We got lucky, bro. Okay, we got a bit
But
lucky. But it's
even
fine.
if we lost that, we still wouldn't we still have
yeah,
made it
Zed,
or
it
something
kind
like
of
that?
stinks.
Or
If we drawn that game, we
based
still would have
on the
made it.
results, yeah,
Say that again.
we actually would have
because
made
didn't
it.
Drew, we
Villa
still would have
lost?
made it.
Villa lost,
so we would
and
have.
what's the name lost,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Villa
Villa.
lost.
so we would have still got him.
My main concern was I just don't feel like we played that well through the season, and to scrape top 4, it's not. I don't think it's good enough. That's it.
But
And
But
bro,
do
you're
especially
you
when
not
I
look
saw
at the
Inzaghi
beginning
in that
and the
man.
end and go, there's like
you're only
beginning
putting that
story.
on the manager. Like, you're not putting that on the board. You're not putting it on the team.
Like Jackson
on the players.
chances missed. The
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
defense was shaky
100%.
That's
for a
why
long part.
my thing is
But it's a
Sanchez.
full season,
if
isn't it?
we objectively watched last season, it is biased to say the manager is the reason we scraped top 4. It's everything, quite honestly. It's the manager, it's the players, it's the board. But it is not. I wouldn't look at last season and go, oh, the manager is why we scraped top 4. Like, he's most to blame for why we. If anything, I would credit him for getting us to top 4, because if that was Poch, if that was Potter, we were 5th or 6th. So
Let me
as far as I'm,
let me ask you, Ziad. What at the beginning of last season? What did you predict would finish?
I said we should get top 4 comfortably.
No. What did you predict would finish at the beginning of last season? What
No,
was your
I said 4th.
prediction?
I said 4th.
Okay. Where did we
Yeah,
finish?
but there's context behind that, man. Let's be real, bro. What the hell? You can finish 4th. I'm sorry, but like if Maresca got sacked and we got Inzaghi, I'll be like, yeah, cool, no problem, because you don't deserve to stay. Especially if you're gonna go
Did you,
get that manager.
would you have predicted would finish 2 points off Man City?
Listen. These 2 points off. Listen, man. Robert, don't do this, man. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this, bro.
Or 5 points
But
off
it's
Arsenal?
valid.
that is the facts,
Bro,
though.
but that's.
It
I
is
don't
the
care about other
context.
teams. I'm
No,
talking about.
I
I'm talking about the
mean,
other team.
you're calling
No,
us
no, no.
you're calling us lucky, or we got there because we were lucky. Like the difference between second and us was 5 points.
Yeah, but I'm talking
The,
isolation.
the gap between third and fourth and us is smaller than the gap between us and fifth.
Rob, let me even go a step further. So what you're really holding Maresca's head to the fire is for that 10, 11 game stretch where we were drawing and losing back to back, right? That's what it is.
6 games, by the way,
So
Dev.
it's, I just want to know, it's like,
Even with
people
that
ask
stretch,
for
you could still finish top
progression, you
4.
get the progression, and then you say contextually the progression wasn't good enough. So I ask people every season, because I like to do it early, like before the season starts, because people like to change their opinions and perspectives when streaks start happening, when win streaks start happening. So what do you think will finish this season? And what is good enough for you? You said top 4 and at least a cup, right? And you're talking about the domestic ones, I presume, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't see. Go for both cups, man.
Okay.
Where do
All
you
right.
where do you think where do
So
you think Spurs in the league's at?
4th again.
okay, and then if you're a normal Chelsea fan, just bare minimum
But
round of 16 Champions League.
the thing is,
Gotcha.
there's context behind this 4th. Everyone can sit 4th, but if you get it on the last day of the season, it's not the same as you get it 2 weeks in advance.
No, no,
No,
no,
As
no.
in top
No,
four's
no. Look, look,
always a
look, look.
battle
I'm
though.
going a step further. So
When
more
hasn't
points than we
fourth
had
place been
last
a battle?
season. More points than we had last season. That's good, right?
Right? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I just want to be clear.
Send me the link,
No
man.
no one here is saying anything differently. No one here is saying the expectations for next season is to scrape top 4. There should be progression. I would say, if anything, if I want to go a step further and really say something, they should be 3rd. And I'm not even trying to be that guy like, oh, wow, they went from 4th to 3rd. I mean, like, genuinely show progression in the table. But
I'm
past
not gonna lie
progression
to
in the
you.
table in the front. Go ahead, Joseph.
Now, Dev, I've actually spoken to all of you. or worked with you guys on different streams, we all have the same objective for next season. Everybody's is the same. It's like we consolidate top 4, top 3, we win a domestic trophy, we compete in the Champions League. I think if Chelsea get 4th comfortably, win the FA Cup, get to the semi-final, quarter-final Champions League, no one's going to be like, oh, what a terrible season. We're like, cool. Then the year after, I think all of us expect to actually fully challenge for the league, because it'll be 3-4 years of the same core, Enzo's, Caicedo's, Palmer's, to get it, of playing in the same team. And we would expect upgrades, or nigh on, everyone improves by 10%. So for me, by the way, for people in the chat, Zed is actually not negative overall. He doesn't have these expectations of like, oh, Chelsea must win the league tomorrow. He's not that kind of. He just has different opinion on the manager. But I think what we're saying to conclude this argument,
it's his one touchy subject, isn't it? It's everybody has a touchy
if you know
subject.
The context, the Poch thing really annoyed a lot of us fans, because before Robert and all them on YouTube, people used to gaslight us and tell us Poch was good. Like they used to. I went to these finals live and watched these things happen.
Just bottled another final for my national team.
Shut your mouth. I was there watching it. You know what I'm saying?
That way, being an American fan now, man, and a Chelsea fan before us, I feel for you, man.
No, you guys have no clue. It's like family from London, but I'm American, but like you guys have no clue what it's like. It's just pain. It was pain. Nothing but pain.
Not pain for everybody. I'm not saying I'm different. I'm not different.
You can't even run to American sports, because you know what my American teams are? Pain. There's no love over here, brother. It's just suffering. Then you spend like $3,500. You go to the stadium. You watch them lose live in person, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. Do you know how much money I spent on this team?
Yeah, so Jimmy just sent me a stat. You know, Jimmy, he loves to interact. I love Jimmy, man. He said the last 24 games, all comps. This is Buzzi, by the way, side eye. We've won 18, drawn 2, lost 4. Goals per game 1.83, goals against 0.71. Now for me, I don't look at
our losses look really bad. Like whenever we lose or draw, it just looks really bad. Yeah. But when we win, we usually win in style. So
we barely lose any games now. That's the thing.
I know.
Yeah, but even when we win, like toward the last, about the Conference League, we were winning usually. Like we beat Man United 1-0. We beat Newcastle or Forest 1-0. We beat Everton 1-0. Everybody's just, oh man, we got lucky. 1-0. We should have prepped them like 4-5. Like with Chelsea, like people think, especially going toward the business end of the season, that we should be beating this team 3 or 4-0 like we did at the beginning of the season. But the fact that we were keeping clean sheets into these games, it is even more significant than us winning, 4-3 or 3-2 and things like that. We were beating the team. We were scoring 1 and saying we can shut up shop and be cool. Like
I've got a question for everybody here, Rob. That's a great point. Yeah, ask everyone around the table to say yes, one or the other. What would you rather Chelsea? So Chelsea's done it the way around, but what would you rather? Us having to improve our goal scoring or our defense?
It would have been defense. After last year, after Pochettino, it would have been defense, because these players can score goals. Like we got it in them, we got the quality.
How many goals did we score last season? Because I think on the Pochettino season we scored like 77, was it?
I think we
scored about 60 some. Is it? We didn't score as many goals last season.
Also, this season
we conceded way less, like way less.
What it is?
Yeah. I think
actually those games against
City
like
8th. I think 7th or 8th in the league.
No.
Yeah, our attack was like 7th in the league. Our defense was like 3rd or something.
This is the point I'm trying to say. Last
season, yeah.
No, I'm saying last season goal scoring was more important, because if we were converting half these chances and I know Jackson missed a lot, but it wasn't just Jackson. Palmer can also be thrown up in there, and a couple other players as well. A lot of people were missing chances up front. So my thing is, if we made half those chances, our attack would have been better. And not only would our attack been better, we would have got more points on the board.
We just had the lap.
Listen very clearly. A better goals, the lap last season, we finished above Arsenal. I'm not being delirious.
The perfect segue. BD can start on the one because we want to speak on it just now. So I'll ask the question because I asked a question to was it Dev and then, or was it Rob? I think Rob and then. I responded to you guys' comments and I said, do you think our attack has improved from a clinical nature? I let Zed start actually because he's driving. He might have to go. But I don't know if he's there. If not, VD, you can start.
Listen. Let me say something.
Do you think Jackson and that's good? Do you think our like overall finishing? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I agree with Rob's point about the play, but I need to see the finishing improve. Because that was our issue last season. It wasn't the chance creation as much. We definitely need to create more. But I think when we did create like Ipswich and that, it's just poor finishing.
Chance creation was not an
We're
issue that season, I'm
Chelsea,
sorry.
we're gonna create, man.
Yeah, but Zed, are you worried about Jackson being the clinical or the lap? What do you feel? Do you feel like we still need to get another clinical finisher? Is what I'm asking you. If Zed's there.
Say that again.
Do you think we need to get another clinical finisher in the team?
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, I think this time next season we'll probably be asking for it. Yeah, I don't know. Depending on how good the lap becomes in his first year, João Pedro, I don't think he's really known for his goals. So I would say yeah, this time next year, but probably not now. I think we've got bigger issues to address right now for next season. But in probably the next year or two, yeah, we probably will have to go for another striker, someone that's a better finisher. But it depends, innit? It depends on the lap, how good he does.
I think he becomes very good. I think if we had the lap last season alone, like those back post crosses from Neto, you know, the amount of chances that Jackson missed just because he can't strike the ball well. If we had the lap last season, I think we've easily finished second. We finished above Arsenal. No worries.
I'm fair to all players, bro. You get 2 seasons. 2 seasons to show me what you got.
I think for me in this, like that season, our 2 highest goal scorers were out of form at the same time, which is possible. But this upcoming season, we have way more options. We have in Esteval, we have Neto now used the system, Cole Palmer, Delap, Jackson, Gittins, João Pedro, right? And even in Enzo Fernandez nowadays. Like the thought of all of those guys being out of form and not be able to convert is slim to none. Last season, when Cole Palmer and Jackson were out of form, it's peak. But this season, if Jackson's out of form, bring Delap in. If Cole Palmer's out of form, João Pedro's there. If Neto's out of form, you know, Esteval, you know, what can you do for me? You know what I mean? Gittins is like the ability to have a variety of players, not just relying on 1 or 2. To say if Cole Palmer is out of form,
play devil's advocate, yeah. This all sounds good, but then you have to ask. So, Ches, this all sounds good, yeah. But what's our objectives? So we can all agree our objective is to go deep in Champions League. One of our objectives is to win a domestic trophy. And one of our objectives is compete for the league. Doesn't mean necessarily to a last game, but to compete to a march.
Yeah.
Now the question is the attack prolific enough to do all those 3 things at once? I'm not sure.
I'm absolutely 100% sure.
You're sure, right? So you think the Brighton game this season that we played, if the lap was available in Gittins, we don't slump? That's not a trick question. Do you feel like if you look at the games you drop points in and we ultimately failed in those aspects, do you feel like the players you brought in make a difference?
Yeah. If we have João Pedro against Arsenal, we win that game. If we have, certain players, like because during that time, Jackson wouldn't have been the starter every single game. It would have been, okay, you're out of form, bring Delap on, and then, until you regain your form, and you battle it out, right? If Cole Palmer is out of form, Enzo Maresca does not continuously play, okay, we will play you in form. Like, it'll be, okay, you can play after 45, 50 minutes. If you ain't got it, João Pedro comes on. And instead, Cole Palmer was playing every game, every 90 minutes, whether he stunk up the place, whether it was good, whether it was bad, he was playing, right? But this time around, it's not the case. And also, when those attackers were out of form, we have a left winger in Sancho he's a decent player, but his form goes along with the team's form. Like when the attack is scintillating, Sancho is good. When the other attackers are out of form, Sancho is out of form as well. But Gittins, I believe this time around, he's more of a threat because his speed and all his finishing and all that.
I was going to say
he can provide goal scoring. Like, I don't, like as Maresca said, I prefer 10 players that can give me 10 goals each a season than 1 player that will give me 40 goals a season. Because once that 40-goal player is out of form, your attack is cooked.
Mm.
The thing is, that's the thing as well. Is like we all sit here and say we want this big striker that's going to guarantee us goal. Like, bro, we do this a lot where we ask for certain players in certain positions, bro. Like, there isn't a lot. The market is the market. Who are you going to go get now that we're all going to be happy with and say that he's going to guarantee us 20 goals? Well, Osimhen, well, that ain't happening.
Yeah,
You know, and then people say, well,
I've
not.
got to say this in
you know?
every single stream. Sorry, I got to say this in every single stream. For those people that are begging for Osimhen, saying, and we say how many goals do Chelsea striker need? People say 20, and I say non-penalty goals. They say 20. Osimhen has only ever done that once in his career, if you don't include Galatasaray. Out of all of his entire career, he's hit 20 or 15 non-penalty goals once, and that's when they won the league. So you can't sit here and say, and remember, the lap wasn't too far off. He wasn't too far off getting 15, and if he started those last games, probably could have done it. So
people just need to
ain't
realize
far
the
off.
market, man. Especially and like these Chelsea
It's
are not going to
dry.
sign the lap and be like, yeah, his peak is 12 goals. They're obviously signing him and believing in him to go get 15, 20 goals. And then because if you don't get Osimhen or the big name because there really isn't anyone out there, and then Chelsea go sign an unknown player but who's got a good scoring record, but like, who's this kid? Who's this random guy in the shit league? Well, you can't win. You can't win.
Oh no, it's facts. Let me ask Deb a question. And JJ saying talk about sales. I think the sales are quite self-explanatory, you know. I feel like we need sales, and all the players that we can all identify Deadwood will probably be Deadwood, like Sterling's, Chilwell's, the
Last
Sassy's.
time I named you like 13 players.
Yeah, we
And
kind of know
Nkunku's
who it is.
going,
I know what you're
Maresca's
saying.
going.
Like,
Get rid of
who
13
are you going to
players.
sell to? Like, I feel like I think someone said a stat, and they said that most sales happen the last 4 weeks of the window because most people get their players they buy, and then the selling market becomes quite rife, innit, when everyone needs to get rid of the players for the end. But then we answer the question, yeah? Do you believe in Jackson? He's on the phone for a reason. Chelsea play tomorrow. I'm going to preview the game. If any of you are free, I'll shout you anyway for tomorrow. But do you believe in Jackson? Because his future at the club is immediately coming up to threat because a lot of Chelsea fans see the improvement. Pedro, the lap, the forwards. Jackson's obviously been petulant with his red cards, and Rob's made good points where he said a lot of players make bad decisions off the pitch. On the pitch doesn't mean you get rid of them. But do you feel like with what happened last season, him going out of form, not scoring a lot of goals, do you feel like these next few weeks could be pivotal for his Chelsea career? Or do you feel like he's going to be good and the club still believe in him? Because apparently Chelsea are doing we don't want to sell him, but we won't mind listening to offers, which doesn't really sound good to me.
We said the same with Maresca, and then a week or two later, he's getting pushed
out.
out.
Rob, you know when you
I
said
think the
to me
same's
that
going to happen with Jackson.
saying that doesn't mean we're not selling him. It just means they're doing the whole like we don't want to sell him to get more money. But Dev, do you believe in Jackson? I'm going to go around the panel, but you could start.
I've been trying to waffle. Like, I don't know what believe really means. I think he can improve. I think he can be an asset to the team. I just don't think he can be the leading number 9.
That's what I mean by believe, by the way, just for clarification. Do you believe you can start?
Oh, I believe he could. People might not hear it, but I believe he can start on the left as an inside forward, depending on how Maresca is deploying his system. I don't think he can be the starting 9.
Okay.
In my humble opinion, based on what I've seen.
Why you, Rob?
I think Jackson is massively important for this team. That I think people don't underrate the value to this team. I mean, I've watched the lap for the last the last few games, the last couple of games that he started. I am unconvinced by his hold up and link up play. I don't think he's as good as Jackson's. And until I'm convinced to that extent with the laps, for that option, I don't think I don't think you get rid of a Jackson. Now, I will say this: if you get a stupid, you get 80 million offer, like 100 million euros, it could take money for Jackson. Yes, by all means, you consider it. But I'm not going into this like, oh, if somebody showed up with 50 million pounds for Jackson, I'm listening to offers. Absolutely not, because I believe the importance of Jackson into this team, his link up play, his hold up play, his ball carrying ability is so important for this team, especially now with Joao Pedro, that you cannot. I think it would be a lapse in judgment to sell Jackson at this particular point. And I think people have the Chelsea fans, we got that symptom where we got a brand new toy, we don't get rid of the old one, even though the old one is still quite good and it might even be better than the current toy. But because the new toy is new, it's like, hey, bring me that one, get rid of the other one. And so you're hearing people talking about, oh yeah, bring me Andre Santos. I wouldn't mind sell Enzo Fernandez. It's like that's the Chelsea fan base. You know what I mean? And so I think Jackson. Yeah, there's no way. I don't believe Jackson's getting sold this summer. I've said that all summer long, even when the ITKs were coming on saying Chelsea is actively looking to sell Jackson. Now Ornstein says we are not actively trying to sell Jackson. There are plenty of clubs that appreciate him, and that even in the Prem and all across Europe, that if Chelsea says yes, the people, a lot of clubs will jump onto the opportunity to sign a Nicholas Jackson. But I don't think he's a player you sell. I think he's a player you keep. I think he's a player that you need into the squad. And that's gonna prove to be massively important, just because again, Delap might be a better box striker, but I believe outside the box, Jackson is still, to me, better than Delap in those areas. So you definitely keep him. Absolutely no to selling Jackson.
No. Bro would be annoyed. What are you saying, BD?
See, I was gonna put out a tweet yesterday, right? Last night, I did like a tier list for players, right? And I decided I'm gonna make it into a video instead. And the tiers were starts every game, starter quality, dependables, backup, and grey area. And I was going through the list, and I had no clue where to put Jackson because he doesn't start every game, and he would have been starter quality. But then when you look at the context of where Chelsea are now that we have Delap and João Pedro, is he really starter quality now? I don't know. Like, he's just become a bit, for me, surplus to requirements. Like, what he can do or what he offers, we've got João Pedro for that now. And João Pedro is a better finisher. He's got more instincts than Jackson. So he just went into grey area. Like, I don't... If we kept him as an option, maybe, there'll be a game where João Pedro starts as a left wing or something like that, and then you had Jackson or something like that as backup to the lap, then I think it will be cool. But I think he's just become a bit surplus to requirements. Like, if he started at striker over Delap and João Pedro, I'd question it slightly. Why? Like, why? These other two are clearly better than him at striker, so I just don't really see the point in keeping Jackson. I think he's linked with, and here's the thing: a player has to be, they have to be useful for the club, like properly useful. Like, we know that Noni Madueke has quality, and so does Jackson, right? These are two players that have quality, but they're just not needed for our team. Like, they're not needed. They will be better off somewhere else. It's just the way football works. Sometimes players don't work properly for your club because you've bought them slightly misprofiled. Jackson ain't a load 9. To be honest, I actually thought, and what I've been clamoring for, I thought Jackson would have been perfect for the role that João Pedro is going to play. I thought he would have been perfect for it next to the lap, but he's not. And honestly, if I'm Jackson and a 55 million bid came in from Villa, a team that can play two strikers in like a 4-4-2 or something like that, where you can just drop deep, I don't know why we wouldn't sell. Why wouldn't we sell? If I'm Jackson, I'm going there as well. I know I'm going to be used better. It's just, it happens in football, innit? Like, sometimes it just doesn't work at your club, and it will work infinitely better at another club. So I just think he's a bit surplus to requirements now. I think his spot's gone. I think it's gone. I think João Pedro put the nail in the coffin. I think he's gone.
Is that last word, man? If you're there,
Listen, man.
Listen,
man. Jackson safe, man. It's been good, man, but safe. Oh, come on, man. Listen, it depends. If a bid comes in, you sell him 150%. If no one actually comes in for him, then he can stay and play the random cup games against Barnsley or whatever. Then cool. But in the Premier League, Champions League, the big games, João Pedro and Delap are ahead of him. So what's the point of keeping him? Especially if a bid comes in for 50, bro, even 45 million. Then it's been good, man. His finishing is just shocking. For striker, it's
ball striking, bro. It's so bad. It's so bad.
And for 45 million for a player that's gonna play a random cup games at home where you could play an under 18 and we'll probably still win the game. Nah, bro, just sell him. Just sell him, man. I think his attitude stinks as well, bro.
Yeah, he's. I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say it without like sounding like it's disrespect because he's not childish. He has these tantrums. He has these strops on the pitch, and it's not really what Chelsea need.
Immaturity is what you're looking for.
Yeah, maturity. Then that's.
And don't tell me he's young. Please, no one in the chat or anyone say he's young.
After last year as well.
Grown ass man. Don't tell me he's young, bro.
Yeah, I think me and Zed said it on his channel. Actually,
yeah, we said it last stream, bro. Oh, he's 23. He's young. Are you dumb, bro? That guy's a grown ass man.
When we looked at his age, he was like 24. I was like, bro, I was 24 like last year.
24, bro.
Like, when I was 24, I'm not acting petulant. No, when you're on the pitch, you play football or sport. You get annoyed, innit? Play tennis or football, FIFA. You get annoyed.
Frustration's normal. It's a human
natural
emotion.
Jackson's thing is he acts a bit petulant. He's just a bit weird and a bit childish. Like, man, him and Noni are fighting over penalties. And by the way, that is Poch's fault as well, by the way. That was weak management. If you're a good manager, it doesn't happen. But why are you fighting over a penalty against some random team? It didn't make sense. And it's not good, but...
Bro, from when there's 3 Chelsea players, 3 of your teammates, holding you back, telling you, shut the hell up and get on with the game, I stopped talking to the ref, and you're arguing with them again, bro, safe, man. And it's happened multiple times. Like, come on, man, it's enough.
You know, the thing is, it would get bypassed if he was scoring the goals and actually finishing his chances.
Yeah,
but it's a negative stacked on top of a negative. So when you got a fat negative there, and then you just put something else on top, no matter how small it is, that small thing's now gonna get a little bit bigger because you're already pissed off at them. So now this little thing is also blown out of proportion. You can't just keep stacking the negatives.
I don't know if JJ's referring to the Jackson thing, but let's assume you are. We're actually not being negative. All it is we've got João Pedro, like the whole panel said. We've got the lap. So now we're looking at Jackson sideways. Now there's competition. We're like, hold on a minute. You're not better than João Pedro. I hold up play. You're not better than the lap as a striker. So where do you play? It's literally that. By the way, if João Pedro wasn't here, we wouldn't be having this debate. We'll be like, keep him.
100%. 100%.
Because João Pedro's here, we've got a left winger now. We've actually got all the positions for our front line. Jackson's kind of odd one out because he doesn't really play left. He's not a good striker. Hold up play, he's good, by the way, but he's not better than João Pedro or Palmer. So then it's like,
it's this thing towards the end of last season. I was sit here. I was like, I didn't want to put any tweets out because I said I wouldn't jump to conclusions. And I was sitting there thinking about Jackson. I was like, is he good enough to be as a solo striker? No. Is he good enough to play on the left wing? No, because realistically, Gittins is better on the left wing, or you could just sign someone that's better. He can't really beat his man out wide like that. So it's like, well, if those are the 2 options that we have, then he's not good enough to play for Chelsea. Like, it's as simple as that. Again, in another system, in Emery's system, I think he'll be incredible. You have the freedom, and the goal burden is shared. It's shared, isn't it? Like, he ain't got to worry. It's just not for Chelsea.
If he can, like, and also what makes us more annoyed is the red cards, like we said before, the penalties, all this stuff adds onto it. If he didn't do all this and his head was down working hard, again, it's context. When you work with people or you do business with people, whatever it is, you're friends with people, it's not just one thing. Sometimes people are reasonable and it's many reasons why someone lets you down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not just, he doesn't score goals. He doesn't score goals, his red cards. We know he cares about the club. I don't look at him and go, he doesn't care about Chelsea. He's only here for a payday. I don't look at him like that. I think he does work hard. But sometimes it's what you do, not also how you do it. It's sometimes both. And if you're not scoring goals, but you're getting red cards and being petulant over penalties, don't expect us to sit here and give you bare sympathy. Like, you need to be doing your job. And João Pedro's in now, the lap's here. And I'm not going to... The panel's overgashed João Pedro a little bit, in my opinion. I'm not going to go, he's sick. Like, he's very, very good. We'd see how he does. We've got a long season. But Jackson, man, unless he's got to do a lot, man. I think he might stay if a couple can come into him.
I think it's done. I think it's done. Just take the money, go.
Like ASAP. Do you want to say something before we leave, Devon Jackson, or are you good?
No, it's going to be what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Either he's going to get sold before the season even starts, or he's going to have to compete with 2 different people. I don't know. I'm waiting on the other
Oh,
outgoings. I don't
Just
think
last
he.
thing in it. Oh, actually, you're not going. Sorry.
No, I'm finishing. You're good. I don't think he's the priority outgoing. So I wouldn't call it until after a couple of names leave. Your Sterling, etc., etc.
Always watch it
Go
back.
ahead. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie said stream just ended. Good thing about YouTube, can always watch it back.
Yeah,
So
you can watch
got
it
an
back,
hour of content there. Go watch it back, buddy. You got it.
They love watching YouTube on the train, work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the good thing about YouTube, man. You can just, and I love leaving timestamps for you lot. So all you lot need to do is I'm gonna put everybody's channels and VD and Rob's Twitters and Dev's Twitters below.
Not damn all that. Hit the likes.
Yeah, smash likes as well.
Hierarchy
But
is
I
mean
like to make sure you guys get your love as well, because when I get my subs, hopefully it translates over. Ziad as well, he's closing in his respective 1,000. So make sure you're subbing to all the man them, liking the video. Do you know what I'm saying? And we have to leave on time today. So love VD for joining. Dev, Zed, as always, Rob as well as always. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. We'll see you tomorrow, man. 3:30 p.m. You know the vibes are